Archangel Michael is guiding your next step, and don't scroll right now, listen to this, because if these words reached you, this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, not later, not when things calm down, but in this exact moment where your soul feels suspended between what was and what's coming next, because Archangel Michael does not guide randomly, he guides when a step matters more than it appears on the surface. Don't scroll, take a breath, listen to this carefully, because something inside you already sensed that you were standing at a quiet crossroads, even if you couldn't name it, even if nothing dramatic happened yet, and that subtle awareness is why this message found you. Listen to this, guidance doesn't always arrive when things fall apart, sometimes it arrives when things look fine, but your spirit knows there's more alignment waiting if you pause long enough to listen. Don't scroll, Archangel Michael is stepping forward now with calm authority, not to scare you, not to rush you, but to steady you, because your next step is not meant to be taken from fear, habit, or pressure, and your heart needs this right now because you've spent too long making decisions based on what felt urgent instead of what felt true. Don't scroll, if you've been feeling a strange mix of anticipation and hesitation, like you're ready for change but unsure how to move, that's not confusion, that's discernment forming, and Archangel Michael says discernment is the language of mature guidance. Listen to this, you don't need to know the entire path, you only need to feel the next step clearly, and that clarity comes from stillness, not force. Don't scroll, because the reason this message is interrupting your moment is simple and profound. You were about to move automatically, the old way, and guidance stepped in to slow you down before momentum turned into repetition. Your heart needs this right now because repetition drains the soul, while alignment restores it. Don't scroll, Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are not behind, you are not late, and you are not failing, you are being refined. And refinement often feels like hesitation because it asks you to choose consciously instead of impulsively. Listen to this, the pause you feel is not blockage, it's protection. Don't scroll, signs from the universe have been surrounding you lately. Numbers like 1111 appearing when you question direction, 222 when balance feels off, 444 when you're tired but still showing up, and listen carefully. Those signs are not pushing you forward, they're asking you to check in with yourself before moving. Your heart needs this right now because guidance respects your free will. Don't scroll, spiritual awakening deepens when guidance shifts from loud warnings to gentle nudges, and Archangel Michael says this is where you are now, no longer needing intervention, but support, no longer being redirected, but accompanied. Listen to this. Accompaniment feels calmer than rescue, and that calm is what you're feeling beneath the uncertainty. Don't scroll, love and soulmate energy are connected to this next step too, and this matters, because when guidance arrives at a crossroads, it often protects your heart before it protects your plans, and Archangel Michael says your next step will determine not just where you go, but who can walk with you. Listen to this. The love meant for you will not rush your healing, confuse your intuition, or demand urgency to prove connection. It will meet you where you are, not where you were surviving. Your heart needs this right now because love aligned with guidance feels safe, not intoxicating. Don't scroll, if someone or something has been pulling at your attention recently, making you feel torn or pressured, Archangel Michael says that pull is information, not instruction, and awareness is asking you to choose clarity over familiarity. Listen to this, familiarity often disguises itself as comfort even when it no longer serves you. Don't scroll, guidance also shows up in your body, not just your thoughts. You may notice tension when considering one option, and calm when considering another, even if the calm option feels less exciting or less impressive on the outside. And Archangel Michael says your body knows before your mind agrees. Your heart needs this right now because intuition speaks through sensation. Don't scroll, You may be tempted to ask for a sign to tell you exactly what to do, but listen carefully. This message itself is the sign, the reminder to slow down, to check in, to move with intention instead of momentum. Don't scroll. Guidance does not eliminate choice, it clarifies it. Listen to this. You are not being told what to do, you are being supported as you decide. Don't scroll. If fear whispers that choosing slowly means missing out, Archangel Michael says rushing is what causes misalignment, not patience. Your heart needs this right now because what is meant for you will still be there when you arrive aligned. Don't scroll. This phase of guidance can feel quiet compared to past chaos, and that quiet can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. But Archangel Michael says quiet is where true direction becomes audible. Listen to this. Chaos was never your teacher, it was your test. Don't scroll. Guidance also asks you to trust the moments that feel neutral, unspectacular, because stability often precedes expansion, and expansion built on stability lasts longer than excitement built on fear. Your heart needs this right now because endurance matters. Don't scroll. The reason Archangel Michael is guiding your next step instead of your entire future is because the next step contains everything you need: clarity, protection, alignment, and peace, and trying to see beyond it would only overwhelm you. Listen to this. Destiny unfolds one conscious step at a time. Don't scroll. This message is not asking you to act immediately, it's asking you to stay present, to stay aware, to notice what feels grounded instead of what feels urgent, and Archangel Michael says presence is the most powerful form of readiness. Your heart needs this right now because presence keeps you from repeating the past. Don't scroll. As this part closes, feel the steadiness beneath these words, that sense of being held rather than pushed, because that is guidance in its purest form, not loud, not demanding, but unwavering, and Archangel Michael confirms this gently and clearly. You are being guided, protected, and supported as you approach your next step, and staying with this awareness will reveal what you need to know next, because this message is only the beginning, and what Archangel Michael reveals after this will help you understand exactly how to take that step without fear, without force, and without losing yourself. So don't scroll away yet. Stay present, stay open, because guidance is still unfolding. Don't scroll. Listen to this all the way through, because if you are here for part 2, Archangel Michael is now speaking to why your next step required guidance before movement, and your heart needs this right now because what you were about to do carried more weight than you realized. Listen carefully. Guidance doesn't arrive when everything is obvious, it arrives when the mind feels torn but the soul already knows, and Archangel Michael says this moment came because you were standing at a decision point where old instincts could have led you forward quickly, but not correctly. Don't scroll. This message is for you because the pressure you've been feeling lately wasn't time pushing you, it was alignment asking you to slow down, and those two sensations feel similar until you learn the difference. Listen to this. Urgency feels loud and anxious, guidance feels steady and grounding, even when it asks you to pause. Your heart needs this right now because misreading urgency as destiny is how cycles repeat. Don't scroll. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that your next step isn't about choosing between good and bad, it's about choosing between familiar and aligned, and familiar paths often feel safer simply because you've walked them before, not because they lead where you truly want to go. Listen to this closely. Comfort is not always confirmation. Don't scroll. The guidance that stepped in was not to block you, but to protect you from carrying old emotional patterns into a new chapter, because when patterns travel with you, destinations don't change, only scenery does. Your heart needs this right now because you deserve a new experience, not a familiar struggle in a different place. Don't scroll. You may have felt resistance recently when trying to move forward, delays, unanswered messages, plans that didn't flow, energy that felt off, and Archangel Michael says those were not obstacles, they were cushions, slowing you just enough to prevent misalignment. Listen to this: protection often looks like inconvenience before it looks like relief. Don't scroll. Signs from the universe intensified during this time, not to overwhelm you, but to anchor you. Numbers repeating when you questioned your worth, songs playing when you doubted timing, conversations echoing themes you hadn't spoken aloud. And listen carefully. The universe speaks louder when the soul is ready to listen. Your heart needs this right now because signs are not instructions, they are confirmations of awareness. Don't scroll. Spiritual awakening deepens here because guidance shifts responsibility back to you, not in a heavy way, but in an empowering one. Archangel Michael is not telling you what to choose, he is helping you feel the truth of each option, and that feeling is your compass. Listen to this: intuition doesn't argue, it resonates. Don't scroll. Love and soulmate energy are directly affected by this step, and this matters more than you think, because when guidance intervenes before movement, it is often guarding your heart from entering something that looks promising but lacks reciprocity. Archangel Michael says your next step in love is not about effort, it's about alignment, and alignment does not require chasing, convincing, or proving. Your heart needs this right now because love that requires urgency eventually requires recovery. Don't scroll. If you've been tempted to reach out, respond, or reopen something simply to feel relief, listen to this carefully. Relief is not the same as resolution, and Archangel Michael says short-term relief often delays long-term peace. Listen to this: peace is quieter but lasting. Don't scroll. Guidance also affects how you see yourself now. You may notice you're less willing to compromise your values for momentum, less interested in impressing others, and more focused on how choices feel internally, and Archangel Michael says this is integrity forming. Your heart needs this right now because integrity is the foundation of self-respect. Don't scroll. The next step you're being guided toward will not feel dramatic at first. It may feel simple, subtle, even anticlimactic, but listen closely. Aligned steps often feel obvious in hindsight because they don't fight you. Listen to this: if something requires you to override your body, ignore your intuition, or silence your discomfort, it is not guidance, it is conditioning. Don't scroll. Fear may try to convince you that waiting means losing momentum, but Archangel Michael says momentum built on misalignment collapses, while momentum built on clarity compounds. Your heart needs this right now because sustainable progress is born from patience. Don't scroll. Guidance also prepares you for responsibility, because what's coming next will require you to trust yourself more than ever before, and Archangel Michael says trust is strengthened when you honor it in small moments like this. Listen to this: big destiny shifts are built on small conscious choices. Don't scroll. You may feel moments of doubt during this phase, questioning whether you're overthinking or missing out, but listen carefully. Doubt does not cancel guidance, it simply reveals where old habits are still releasing. Your heart needs this right now because transformation is a process, not an instant switch. Don't scroll. As this message continues, notice how your breath slows when something feels true, how your shoulders relax when alignment is mentioned, how tension rises when pressure enters the thought, because Archangel Michael says your body is part of your guidance system. Listen to this: embodiment is intuition in action. Don't scroll. The universe is not testing you by withholding answers, it is strengthening you by allowing clarity to emerge from within, and that kind of clarity cannot be taken away once formed. Your heart needs this right now because inner clarity outlasts external validation. Don't scroll. The next step you are being guided toward may not make sense to everyone, and that is okay, because guidance is personal, not performative. Listen to this: you do not need consensus to be correct. Don't scroll. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this clearly before this part ends. The reason guidance arrived before action is because once you move aligned, things will unfold faster than before, and preparation was necessary. Your heart needs this right now because readiness determines how blessings are received. Don't scroll. This part matters because it sets the tone for how you will move forward from here. Not rushed, not pressured, not doubting, but grounded, aware, and supported. Listen to this. The ones who stay present through guidance are the ones who avoid regret. Don't scroll. As this part closes, hold on to the calm forming beneath the words, because that calm is your signal that you are not lost. You are being led gently, intentionally, and with purpose, and Archangel Michael confirms this with steady certainty. Your next step is unfolding at the right pace, with the right awareness, and staying present through this guidance will reveal exactly how to take it without fear, without force, and without repeating the past. So stay here, stay open, because what comes next will show you how this guidance becomes movement. Don't scroll, listen to this with your full attention, because if you are here for part 3, Archangel Michael is now speaking to how your guidance becomes movement without fear, and your heart needs this right now because this is the moment when many people freeze, not because they don't know what to do, but because stepping forward consciously feels unfamiliar after a lifetime of reacting. Listen carefully. Guidance is not meant to keep you waiting forever, it is meant to help you move correctly, and Archangel Michael says the reason your next step feels both close and unclear is because it is not meant to be rushed into existence, it is meant to be recognized. Don't scroll. This message is for you because recognition happens in stillness, not pressure, and you've been learning to slow your inner world enough to hear yourself again. Listen to this. When guidance turns into movement, it doesn't feel dramatic, it feels steady, it feels like choosing peace even when fear offers urgency, and that steadiness is the clearest sign that alignment is active. Your heart needs this right now because alignment removes the need for force. Don't scroll. You may notice that lately your reactions have softened, you don't jump as quickly into fixing, explaining, or proving, and Archangel Michael says this is because guidance has recalibrated your nervous system, teaching it that safety no longer comes from control, but from presence. Listen to this. Presence is power that doesn't exhaust you. Don't scroll. This phase is where your future begins responding to your energy differently. Opportunities approach without pressure, conversations unfold without tension, and choices no longer feel like battles between logic and emotion, and Archangel Michael says this is because guidance has aligned those parts of you again. Your heart needs this right now because inner conflict was never your natural state. Don't scroll. Movement guided by awareness feels different than movement driven by fear. Fear-based movement feels urgent, restless, and reactive, while guided movement feels intentional, calm, and quietly confident, and Archangel Michael says learning this difference will protect you for the rest of your life. Listen to this. When something is meant for you, it does not require you to abandon yourself to reach it. Don't scroll. Love and soulmate energy also shift here in powerful ways, because when you move from guidance instead of fear, you stop attracting connections that thrive on instability, and Archangel Michael says the relationships meant to walk with you forward will recognize your steadiness as safety, not boredom. Your heart needs this right now because real connection grows in calm, not chaos. Don't scroll. If you've felt less drawn to emotional highs and lows, less tempted by intensity that burns out quickly, that is not loss of passion, that is discernment maturing, and Archangel Michael says discernment is what turns longing into fulfillment. Listen to this. You are not losing desire, you are refining it. Don't scroll. Spiritual awakening becomes embodied here, meaning you no longer just understand truth, you live it. You choose rest when your body asks, you choose honesty when silence feels heavy, and you choose clarity even when confusion offers familiarity. and Archangel Michael says embodiment is where awakening becomes sustainable. Your heart needs this right now because sustainable growth does not require self-sacrifice. Don't scroll. Signs from the universe continue, but now they show up differently, not to push you, but to affirm you. You may notice angel numbers appearing after moments of calm decision-making, not during anxiety, and this matters, because it means guidance is now reinforcing trust instead of correcting fear. Listen to this, reinforcement follows alignment. Don't scroll. Movement also brings up old fears gently, the fear of making the wrong choice, of disappointing others, of stepping into something new without guarantees, and Archangel Michael says those fears are not warnings, they are remnants of survival patterns dissolving. Your heart needs this right now because fear does not get to define your future. Don't scroll. You may feel moments of grief during this phase, grieving how often you moved without guidance in the past, how many times you rushed or settled or stayed too long, and Archangel Michael says grief here is healing, not regret. It honors how far you've come. Listen to this, honoring your past self strengthens your present one. Don't scroll. Movement guided by awareness does not mean everything will be easy, but it means challenges will no longer destabilize you. You will meet them grounded, informed, and emotionally present, and Archangel Michael says resilience built on awareness lasts longer than resilience built on endurance. Your heart needs this right now because you are done surviving through force. Don't scroll. The next step you take may feel small from the outside, a conversation, a boundary, a decision not to engage, a choice to wait, but listen carefully. Small steps taken consciously create large shifts over time. Listen to this, destiny does not arrive in leaps, it unfolds through consistent alignment. Don't scroll. Guidance also teaches you to trust timing again, not as an excuse to delay, but as a partnership with life, and Archangel Michael says timing responds to clarity more than effort. Your heart needs this right now because forcing timing creates resistance. Don't scroll. You may notice that you no longer feel the need to announce your moves, justify your choices, or explain your process, and Archangel Michael says this quiet confidence is the mark of someone who trusts their direction. Don't scroll. Stay with this moment, because if you are here for part 4, Archangel Michael is now speaking to what happens after you take the guided step, and your heart needs this right now because this is where many people doubt themselves, not because they chose wrong, but because alignment feels unfamiliar when it doesn't come with chaos. Listen carefully. Once you move with guidance instead of fear, life responds differently, not louder, not faster, but clearer, and Archangel Michael says clarity can feel unsettling at first when you're used to noise, because noise once masqueraded as progress. Don't scroll. This message is for you because after alignment, the absence of drama can feel like stagnation, but listen to this closely. Peace is not a pause. It is a foundation being laid beneath you. Your heart needs this right now because foundations are quiet, but they hold everything. Don't scroll. You may notice that after choosing consciously, situations begin to reveal themselves more honestly. Conversations either deepen naturally or fade without conflict. Opportunities either align smoothly or fall away without force. And Archangel Michael says this is discernment becoming external reality. Listen to this. Alignment does not chase what is not meant to stay. Don't scroll. This phase can feel like a thinning out, fewer distractions, fewer emotional entanglements, fewer urgent demands, and Archangel Michael says thinning is not loss, it is refinement, removing what cannot support the version of you that is emerging. Your heart needs this right now because carrying less allows you to move farther. Don't scroll. Love and soulmate energy stabilize deeply after guided movement, because love no longer has to compete with confusion, and Archangel Michael says connections that arrive now will feel steady, respectful, and emotionally safe. not because they lack passion, but because they are not fueled by anxiety. Listen to this: love that aligns with guidance does not exhaust you, it restores you. Don't scroll. If someone drifts away after you choose alignment, that drift is information, not rejection. It shows you who was connected to your old patterns rather than your true self. Your heart needs this right now because compatibility reveals itself through growth. Don't scroll. Spiritual awakening integrates fully here, not as seeking answers, but as living in awareness. You begin to notice how your reactions soften, how your patience expands, how your intuition speaks before your mind reacts, and Archangel Michael says this is embodiment, not effort. Listen to this: embodiment is wisdom lived quietly. Don't scroll. Signs from the universe now feel like reassurance rather than urgency. Angel numbers appear when you are calm, songs resonate when you are centered, synchronicities arrive as affirmations, not warnings, and Archangel Michael says this shift means guidance trusts you to recognize truth without being startled into it. Your heart needs this right now because trust replaces fear when alignment matures. Don't scroll. After guided movement, your relationship with time changes, urgency dissolves, patience feels natural, and waiting no longer feels like punishment. And Archangel Michael says this is because you are no longer racing against yourself. Listen to this: time cooperates with those who move consciously. Don't scroll. Challenges may still arise, but they will feel solvable instead of overwhelming, because alignment removes emotional over-identification with obstacles, and Archangel Michael says this neutrality is strength, not indifference. Your heart needs this right now because clarity thrives in emotional steadiness. Don't scroll. You may feel moments of doubt in this phase, wondering if you should feel more excitement, more certainty, more proof, but listen carefully. Guided paths often feel subtle at first because they are built to last, not impress. Listen to this: what lasts does not rush to announce itself. Don't scroll. Authority within you continues to grow. You stop explaining yourself, stop seeking permission, stop negotiating with discomfort that signals misalignment, and Archangel Michael says this inner authority is what keeps your future clean. Your heart needs this right now because boundaries protect alignment. Don't scroll. This phase may also bring grief for the years spent reacting instead of choosing, for the energy spent surviving instead of creating, and Archangel Michael says grief here is sacred, it honors transformation. Listen to this: honoring the past does not mean returning to it. Don't scroll. After guided movement, you may feel an unfamiliar calm that almost feels like boredom, but listen carefully: boredom is what peace feels like before joy expands, because the nervous system is no longer bracing for impact. Your heart needs this right now because safety precedes expansion. Don't scroll. Your goals may shift during this phase, not shrinking, but refining. Ambition becomes purposeful, desire becomes intentional, and Archangel Michael says refinement is how destiny sharpens itself. Listen to this: refined desires align faster. Don't scroll. Your intuition grows stronger here because you're no longer drowning it out with urgency. You trust first impressions, you honor discomfort, and you move when something feels right, not when pressure demands it. Your heart needs this right now because intuition strengthens with respect. Don't scroll. Guided movement also changes how you handle endings. You let go without burning bridges, you close chapters without resentment. And Archangel Michael says peaceful endings create open futures. Listen to this: closure does not require confrontation. Don't scroll. This phase prepares you for something meaningful ahead, something that requires you to be grounded, patient, and self-trusting, and Archangel Michael says preparation always feels quieter than arrival. Your heart needs this right now because readiness matters more than speed. Don't scroll. As this part settles, notice how stable you feel inside, how choices feel lighter, how your inner voice feels clearer. Because that is alignment holding, not fading. Listen to this, alignment does not disappear once found, it deepens when honored. Don't scroll, Archangel Michael confirms this with steady reassurance. The step you took with guidance has changed the tone of your life, and what unfolds next will not demand struggle, explanation, or fear, because you are no longer moving blindly, you are moving with awareness, trust, and protection, and staying present in this phase will reveal doors that only open after the noise fades. So stay here, stay aware, because guidance is still active, and what comes next will show you why this step was worth waiting for. Don't scroll, stay with this moment fully, because if you are here for part 5, Archangel Michael is now speaking to the moment when guidance becomes confidence and confidence becomes trust, and your heart needs this right now because this is where everything you've been sensing finally settles into certainty without force. Listen carefully, there comes a point after awareness, after discernment, after taking the guided step, when you realize you are no longer waiting for permission, confirmation, or reassurance from the outside, you are standing inside your own knowing, and Archangel Michael says this is the moment when guidance has done its deepest work. Don't scroll, this message is for you because trust does not arrive loudly, it arrives quietly, like a steady presence that doesn't argue with fear but simply outlasts it. Listen to this, you may notice that your thoughts feel less scattered now, that decisions don't spiral the way they used to, and that you don't feel the same urgency to explain yourself, and Archangel Michael says these are not small changes, they are signs that trust has taken root. Your heart needs this right now because trust stabilizes the soul. Don't scroll, embodied trust feels different from confidence. Confidence can rise and fall depending on outcomes, but trust remains steady even when outcomes are uncertain, and Archangel Michael says this steadiness is what allows your future to unfold without chaos. Listen to this, when you trust yourself, you stop negotiating with fear. Don't scroll, this phase may feel strangely quiet compared to the emotional highs and lows you once experienced, and that quiet can feel unsettling at first, because your nervous system was conditioned to equate intensity with meaning, but Archangel Michael says calm is not emptiness, it is safety, and safety allows growth to happen without damage. Your heart needs this right now because growth without damage is the goal. Don't scroll, love and soulmate energy respond powerfully here, because trust changes how you open your heart. You are no longer guarded out of fear or overgiving out of insecurity, you are simply present, and Archangel Michael says presence is what creates genuine connection. Listen to this, the love meant for you will not rush your heart, test your boundaries, or confuse your intuition, it will feel like recognition, not pursuit. Don't scroll, if someone steps into your life during this phase, they will meet a version of you that is whole, calm, and self-aware, and that energy naturally attracts respect, not games. Your heart needs this right now because love built on trust does not require self-betrayal. Don't scroll, spiritual awakening integrates fully here, not as searching for answers, but as living in alignment. You respond instead of react, you pause instead of panic, and you trust the first signal your body gives you instead of overriding it with logic or fear, and Archangel Michael says this integration is what turns wisdom into peace. Listen to this, peace is wisdom lived daily. Don't scroll, signs from the universe still appear, but now they feel like companionship rather than instruction. Angel numbers show up as gentle confirmations after aligned choices, not as urgent warnings before anxious ones, and Archangel Michael says this shift means guidance now trusts your inner authority. Your heart needs this right now because authority replaces dependency. Don't scroll, trust also changes how you handle uncertainty. Instead of spiraling when you don't have answers, you stay present, grounded, and open, and Archangel Michael says uncertainty no longer threatens you because you trust yourself to navigate it. Listen to this: trust turns uncertainty into possibility. Don't scroll. You may feel moments of grief here, grieving how often you doubted yourself in the past, how many times you rushed decisions or stayed in situations that drained you, and Archangel Michael says this grief is not regret, it is compassion for the version of you that survived without this trust. Your heart needs this right now because compassion completes healing. Don't scroll. Trust also brings a quiet courage, the courage to walk away without drama, to say no without guilt, to say yes without fear, and to stand alone without feeling abandoned, and Archangel Michael says this courage is not loud, but it is powerful. Listen to this: courage rooted in trust does not need applause. Don't scroll. Your goals and desires may feel clearer now, not because they've grown smaller, but because they've become aligned. Ambition no longer feels desperate, dreams no longer feel overwhelming, and Archangel Michael says this clarity allows you to move steadily instead of burning out. Your heart needs this right now because sustainable success is built on trust, not pressure. Don't scroll. Trust also changes how you experience time. Patience feels natural, waiting feels purposeful, and you stop racing against invisible deadlines, and Archangel Michael says timing cooperates with those who move consciously. Listen to this: time expands when fear releases. Don't scroll. Your intuition grows stronger here because you honor it consistently. You no longer dismiss discomfort or override calm knowing. And Archangel Michael says intuition thrives when it is respected. Your heart needs this right now because intuition is your inner guidance system. Don't scroll. Embodied trust also protects your energy. You invest less in what drains you and more in what nourishes you, without apology or explanation, and Archangel Michael says this redistribution of energy is sacred. Listen to this: energy follows trust. Don't scroll. As this phase deepens, you may notice that life feels simpler, not easier, but clearer, fewer emotional knots, fewer internal battles, and more space to breathe, and Archangel Michael says simplicity is alignment revealed. Your heart needs this right now because clarity creates peace. Don't scroll. Trust does not mean life will never challenge you again, but it means challenges will no longer shake your foundation. You will meet them grounded, aware, and self-assured, and Archangel Michael says this resilience is the fruit of guidance honored. Listen to this: resilience built on trust does not fracture. Don't scroll. This part prepares you for the final integration, where trust becomes movement without hesitation, where guidance turns into action without fear, and where your future begins to respond to your presence rather than your effort. Your heart needs this right now because presence is magnetic. Don't scroll. As this part comes to a close, notice how settled you feel, how steady your breath is, how quiet your thoughts have become, because that steadiness is trust embodied, and Archangel Michael confirms this gently and clearly. You are no longer waiting to feel ready, you are living from readiness, and from this place, what is meant for you will not require force, confusion, or fear to arrive, because you have learned to trust yourself enough to meet it fully, calmly, and exactly as you are, and what comes next will reveal why this trust was the final key. Don't scroll. Stay with me until the very last word, because if you are here for the final ending, Archangel Michael is now speaking to why everything you've gone through was preparing you for this exact moment, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize, because this is not the end of the message, this is the moment the message becomes real in your life. Listen carefully. There is a sacred shift that happens when awareness, guidance, trust, and movement finally converge, and Archangel Michael says you are standing inside that convergence right now, even if your mind hasn't fully caught up yet. Don't scroll. This message is for you because you didn't arrive here by accident. Every pause, every delay, every detour, every unanswered prayer was shaping your discernment, not denying your destiny. Listen to this: destiny is not delayed by preparation, it is protected by it. Your heart needs this right now because you are finally ready to receive without self-sabotage. Don't scroll. There was a time when you would have rushed what's coming, chased it from fear, or doubted yourself out of it entirely, and Archangel Michael says that version of you needed time, not punishment, to grow strong enough to hold what was meant for you. Listen to this: blessings arrive when the hands are steady. Don't scroll. This final phase is about embodiment, not anticipation. You are no longer preparing for alignment, you are living inside it, and that means your energy speaks before your words do, your presence opens doors before effort does, and your calm communicates readiness louder than urgency ever could. Your heart needs this right now because peace is the language of fulfillment. Don't scroll. Love and soulmate energy are deeply protected here, because when you live from alignment, you no longer confuse attachment with connection, intensity with intimacy, or longing with love, and Archangel Michael says the love meant for you will meet you where you are now, not where you were when you were hurting. Listen to this: love recognizes wholeness instantly. Don't scroll. If you felt a quiet knowing that something meaningful is approaching, not in a dramatic way, but in a grounded, inevitable way, that knowing is not imagination, it is intuition synced with timing, and Archangel Michael says timing finally recognizes you as ready. Your heart needs this right now because readiness changes everything. Don't scroll. Spiritual awakening reaches completion here, not as enlightenment, but as peace with being human. You no longer judge your emotions, suppress your fears, or shame your desires. You hold them with compassion, and Archangel Michael says compassion is the highest frequency of wisdom. Listen to this: wisdom that heals does not judge. Don't scroll. Signs from the universe continue, but now they feel like companionship, not instruction. Angel numbers appear when you are calm, conversations align effortlessly, and opportunities surface naturally. And Archangel Michael says this is because you are no longer being redirected, you are being supported. Your heart needs this right now because support replaces struggle when alignment stabilizes. Don't scroll. There may still be moments of uncertainty ahead, but they will not destabilize you, because uncertainty no longer threatens your identity. You trust yourself to navigate whatever comes, and Archangel Michael says this self-trust is the true miracle you were waiting for. Listen to this: miracles last when they are internal first. Don't scroll. This ending is not about closure, it is about continuation, because alignment does not end with a single choice, it deepens with every conscious one, and Archangel Michael says your future will respond to consistency more than perfection. Your heart needs this right now because you don't have to get it right every time, you just have to stay present. Don't scroll. You may notice that fear still whispers occasionally, but it no longer commands you, it no longer dictates your decisions, and Archangel Michael says this is because fear has lost authority. Listen to this: fear only rules where trust is absent. Don't scroll. Your life will now unfold in quieter but more meaningful ways, fewer emotional storms, fewer reactive cycles, fewer lessons learned the hard way, and more moments of calm recognition. And Archangel Michael says ease is not avoidance, it is mastery. Your heart needs this right now because mastery brings rest. Don't scroll. You are no longer repeating cycles, you are closing them gently, without resentment, without drama, without needing validation, and Archangel Michael says peaceful endings create powerful beginnings. Listen to this: the way you end things shapes what comes next. Don't scroll. Your energy is now magnetic in a different way, not because you are trying to attract, but because you are no longer resisting. And Archangel Michael says resistance was the final barrier. Your heart needs this right now because surrender is strength. Don't scroll. the next chapter of your life will not feel like survival, it will feel like participation. You will co-create instead of endure, choose instead of react, and trust instead of doubt. And Archangel Michael says this is the life you were meant to live all along. Listen to this, you were never meant to struggle endlessly. Don't scroll. If you've stayed until now, it is because your soul recognizes truth when it hears it, and Archangel Michael says awareness is the gateway to everything you've been asking for. Your heart needs this right now because awareness keeps you from missing what's meant for you. Don't scroll. Take a breath here. Feel the steadiness in your body, the calm in your chest, the clarity in your thoughts, because this is not temporary. This is alignment settling in. Listen to this, alignment feels like home. Don't scroll. Archangel Michael offers this final confirmation, steady, protective, and absolute. You are no